out of anybody in Brawlhalla. I don't think I could name anybody else off the top of my head that has played against one another that much. But that being said, let's get started. Game number 1.
Yeah, South America, if you look at their ranked history sets on ladder, I think like the top 10 have like 500 wins, 500 losses against like each other. They're just constantly grinding and playing, and then it's working in a way where everyone's actually just good enough that they've just gotten better than every other region, to be honest. So this is very exciting to see, and I think that this matchup, at least from Fiend, when it comes to this Cassidy pick, might be something that's a little bit of a response to how dominant Wess has been with the boots in his region.
For sure. But right now, Wess not able to do that much with boots on the stage. Fiend going to be setting up an off-stage situation with the hammer, backing off a little bit, just waiting for maybe Wess to fall into his clutches, and so he does, gets the anti-leader catching him. And right now, Wess does not have a very clean approach option. Fiend just wants to call out those jumps. Yeah,
Cassidy has one of those few signature kits where, nice slider, is able to get like stomp neutral sig. Where there was a time, I think, where if you went into deck stance as Cassidy, it was actually just true. It's not true anymore, but it is something that Fiend might try to go for every once in a while. Neutral light, side sig, end sig. Really awesome combo coming out from Fiend there.
That end sig is doing a lot of work for Fiend at this point. It is attacking on a lot of damage, it is connecting, and most importantly, it is not getting punished. But right now, Wess setting up that edge guard. Beautiful stuff. Wow.
Yeah, good note there. I always like to highlight this whenever I see boots on the screen. Has active input. Curiously, you don't want to use the active input so that you can get the stronger knockback move. If you use it, you travel with the boot sider more than if you didn't. And we saw Wess there very rightly so, not holding forward so that he can get that knockout.
You just want to KO. You just want to KO, and then you want to get out of there and get back onto the stage. Fiend right now, though, looking for a way to perpetuate the struggle, looking for the neutral. Didn't actually find it. And, ooh, okay.
Let's see what he's able to do with that opener. Fiend goes off stage with a hammer, putting out stomps on the ground, can't get the neutral sig that time, actually just pivots the wrong way, and Wess gets a huge punish with that neutral sig.
Yeah, I was talking about how that went basically unpunished, and now it has stopped doing that. Wess had just about the most optimal thing in his back pocket for that. All just from an unfortunate misdirection.
In his defense, okay, yeah, you highlighted what I was going to say, which is just kind of like, yeah, you pivoted the wrong way, lost the stock. What can you do? Now we're in this situation where Wess is in the lead, and he dodges one down light and starts getting some extra credit. No, never mind. Sair takes him down. It's now 1-1.
Yeah. Okay, keeping it as even as possible, you know, an eye for an eye. And Wess right now just going to be looking for maybe something to pick up, hopefully soon. All right, nice little neutral just as a get off me option. Boots on deck now. And now Wess is able to do Boots things, which is hit you and then get closer to you and hit you again.
Yeah, I like that landing Sair to end light. Try to get a panic jump read with that neutral signature. Can he go for it again? I thought he was going to, but he goes for downlight Sair instead. Weapon throw forces the dodge. Is this going to be the edge guard, Ara?
Not quite. Fiend comes back on nice and aggressively, but now the question is, how do you land safely? Blasters down is going to be the move of choice. No follow-up on deck, though. Wess going to be quickly picking up those boots yet again and slowing down the pace of the game. Jumping in, faking that out, and able to get the combo into the sider finisher.
Yeah, downlight sider coming out there. Wess finding a lot of these openings on the ground. Fiend oddly unarmed for a large part of that game. And what was weird is that like it started off with him being pretty dominant on the hammer. That was an amazing gravity cancel downlight there. And then it was after this neutral signature that I just actually felt like Fiend like lost all momentum. It was kind of immediate.
Yeah, it was like, okay, my move got whiffed once, I got punished for it, I lost the stock, that's it. You basically have the game now.
Did he use it again after that? I don't think so. I don't know.
A single time, yeah, that was it.
And now maybe switches off the Cassidy? I didn't see. What did he... No, he's still on the Cassidy going.
I really like the idea of somebody's like mentality being shattered after like one misspacing, and that's like, that's it, you know, you got it now.
That was my move. Now how am I supposed to win? So what are they going to use this time? Cassidy down sig. Have you... I hope Fiend doesn't use that move, but maybe that's what he does instead of neutral signature. The answer is no, but it's fun.
Why do you hope not?
Because it's just a really bad move that lasts for like 370,000 frames, and you fly across the stage, and it's super punishable. But when it hits, it's pretty funny. We'll have to see when it happens.
We'll have to see,
yeah,
absolutely.
He's got to have it on hammer.
But right now, Fiend looking super good on the blasters, right? Very different opening to game 1 where Hammer was doing a lot of work. Fiend just able to get a couple of hits, follow those up into some siders, and just waiting on the ground here. Tries to go for the downer, maybe anticipating Wess going below him. Didn't actually find it, though.
Yeah, Fiend coming back, goes for that weapon throw pickup there. Doesn't hit, and now Wess kicking him off stage again. Okay. It was
I
an
was
interesting
looking
idea.
at that startup animation. I was like, what is that again?
I think Fiend was doing the same thing. Yeah. so like what it was down sig, and Fiend was trying, like Wess was being like, oh, nice side sig. Launched them forward there with the grasp. You can go left or right, doesn't really matter. It's just a really solid move. Wess was hoping that he would like dash land past him, like try to cross him up, and then he'd grab him with the downsig on boots, and then you can throw them back off the stage and just get the knockout. But it didn't work out.
Those kinds of like preemptive, like, you know, holding and charging up those signatures are now more viable and relevant when you do consider how people start overshooting with their movement. That being said, Fiend, though, off stage, going up against Gauntlets here, surprisingly not able to find like any recoveries, any downers, like anything to be able to reverse that situation, but there it is.
Yeah, I mean, it was there after 4 or 5 whiffs. Finally, a side stick comes through. Fiend took so much damage that Wess can just silent recovery. Nair, weapon throw, gets the jump, has to dodge. Oh, the last hit of recovery comes through. But that D-Light side air will probably take that stock, and now Wess is up an entire stock over Fiend here in game number 2.
Yeah, Wess is not really breaking a sweat here. I feel like every time that Wess gets like sort of that downlight, that GC downlight, like initial opening, it's always following up into a lot of damage and is consistently finding some of these edge guards. Fiend now with a little bit more presence, gets that stomp into the end sig, stomp into the side, a whole lot of damage, dashes in there with that side sig.
It only takes one. The only one neutral sig to hit. He's like, oh yeah, this is how I was winning in the last game. Do it again. And then, oh no, throws the weapon forward instead. Yeah, Wess's Tesca is fantastic. I'd say, oh, no, she doesn't hit there. He's probably the best boots player at the moment. He kind of proved that at Valencia, I think, with the win over Sandstorm. And they did a boots ditto. Oh, is this going to be it?
Okay, goes for just the downer at that point. Looks for some sort of a downlight there in case Wess went over the stage, but that is going to be able to close it out. Fiend taking a lot of damage, though. Yeah,
it took a lot of damage. Punished the ground pound with the side sig. Wess didn't drift right in. And now Fiend's got to put on a lot of damage himself if he wants a chance to avoid going to match point here, because this is in the elimination bracket, and Wess is looking dominant against Fiend.
Okay, but Fiend not able to actually convert that side light into the side air, not really getting those really huge combo openings, but just still poking and keeping Wess off of him, which is exactly what you need to do. But, wow. What was that?
Yeah, that was a sidelight recovery when the dodge was gone, and that's going to be your knockout, especially that high up in the sky. Wess is like really fantastic on the gauntlets, putting out gravity cancel sidelights instead of using them as string starters on the ground. We get to see that. Same thing with the gravity cancel downlight on boots. You were talking about how like not only is he using it as combo starters, it's the bread and butter finisher, right? You look at boots downlight side air. A lot flashier looking, but about as mechanically complex as the D-Light Stare on Sword, so you just kind of use that as your bread and butter knockout tool. But he's playing fantastic right now, and I'm wondering if Fiend's like, I haven't seen anything from this Cassidy outside of when the neutral sig occasionally hits that's making me think that he should stay on this. And Fiend didn't make a name for himself on the Cassidy. He has the Atori, which everyone knows and loves from him, and then occasionally plays like Nash.
It just feels like Fiend doesn't have as much presence as, like, there was like a little glimmer of hope in like the very beginning of the set, like in that stock one. But ever since then, it was just kind of Fiend not getting a lot of follow-ups so far, and Wess just able to get so many more hits out of every single hit. So, I don't know. Gotta see what happens.
Yeah. Well, what's happening right now is he's switching over to Caspian, which is a choice that's, I believe, is unusual for Fiend. My Fiend lore is like pretty okay. When it comes to like counterpick characters, I think Caspian's entered like this new tier of you pick this if you want to get an early side sig knockout on either weapon. So seeing Fiend on this is just kind of
atypical.
Yeah, I'm like, did you look?
Yeah, I look through Fiend's most played characters, and this, you know, Caspian does not find themselves at all in the top 5.
There's a little bit of Gauntlets from Wushang, and there's a little bit of Katars from Asuri, but other than that, this is certainly a wild counterpick. And when it comes to a player matchup where you have over 100 games competitively against each other, you kind of pick something tailored to your opponent. Fiend and Wess have basically developed their entire Brawlhalla careers fighting against each other in their regions. So let's see how this Caspian plays out. It's certainly a hard counterpick. Brawlhaven.
Oh, what a follow-up off of that. Ouch. So ready to get that side. My goodness.
Yeah, going for the dunk there off the neutral signature. The spike isn't super great at low percent in terms of the distance that it sends you, but the angle is fantastic for falling with that side air. Wess cleans it up very nicely.
Yeah, right now, Fiend needs to get something going here, and this was not totally how I expected this match to go. Actually, yeah, if you look at the last time that these two have played, I think it was like in a community event, it was 3-0 in Fiend's favor, right?
Yeah.
But this is looking dominantly in Wess's favor.
Yeah, the way that Fiend could bring this back is because Wess is slightly in orange. Any side stick from Caspian will just knock out. But he hasn't even been able to hit anything, let alone that. And Wess hits him with the recovery in that. I mean, this could just be a 3-stock to 1 lead at this point.
Yeah, Fiend just looking for any opening, dashing right in there. Wess has all of the stage control that he could possibly hope for. Tries to dash in there, tries to snap back. But I don't know what else to say other than Fiend is not getting anything to connect, and everything that Wess is going for is actually connecting.
Yeah. This is Caspian at Brawlhalla is a pretty common counter pick in a few matchups, and Fiend's making it look not great. And oh man, Wess is just destroying him. Yeah, I don't know what to say, Dara. It was an unusual pick, and Wess is playing very, very well. And what would Fiend have to do to bring this back? I honestly cannot say. That side sig misses, and Wess destroys him for it. Is this a 3-stock?
No shot. But then Fiend leans into it a little bit too much. It is going to be a 3-stock.
We just got the utter destruction voice line from the Brawlhalla announcer. Oh, I'm sorry, Fiend. Oh, 502 damage to 152. Ow.
Ooh, what happened?
Well, Wess destroyed him. Look at that. Look at that NSIG into Sair. That was so good.